Yes, indeed, folks. Isn't a blue please here on cynicalbits.com with myself, Total Biscuit. I'd like to give a quick shout out to the GMs that are hanging around at the Troll Fest event. We apparently have over 500 trolls on the server. The event is not starting for another hour and 10 minutes. Yeah, pretty much. Whoops. Well, someone's certainly getting paid to work tonight. Shout out to the GMs and for being good sports. I do apologize if any of them are morons. They most likely are. I really can't control my fan base as much as I wish that I could, but GMs are hard-working bastards and they have to deal with so much crap on a daily basis. My heart goes out to them. Mucho respectos for the GMs currently listening. I will be online in an hour and 10 minutes. If you can keep the servers up for... I only need about 5 minutes. That's what she said. Actually, did she? Huh. That wouldn't make any sense, would it? Maybe it would. Well, whatever the case, I only need about 5 minutes worth of footage to get this music video done. And then you can crash the server all you damn well please. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I think all the Trollfest has indicated is that MMOs really don't deal well with massive numbers of people, which is extremely ironic. A massively multiplayer online role-playing game, as long as there aren't massive numbers of people in one specific area. Yeesh. Server technology, folks. How does it work? Okay, I want to tell you about Heroic Blackrock Caverns. You want to know why I want to tell you about Heroic Blackrock Caverns? Because it's really good. And I like to tell you about good things. I wish I had more good things to talk about. A lot of the time, I really don't. Why don't I have it? Well, again, I've said it once, I say it 1,000 times, and I need to keep reiterating this. Here's an example. I did a TF2 video yesterday, and you might say, what the hell are you talking about this for? Well, it's relevant. I did a TF2 video yesterday because I'd been working on WoW stuff for about 10 hours, so I think, right, you know what? I could play games, or I could have a look at this new update that just brought out, the Manconomy, which is this in-game item store and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. So I did a video of it explaining it because it's really complicated and their FAQ isn't very good. So I did a video of it. I bought like £25 worth of stuff. I actually gave away a box of gifts, which is, or a pile of gifts or whatever, which is £15. I spent on that, and it gives a gift to everyone on the server, a random item. So I went to some random services. I'm going to give you a bunch of gifts, and then gave them gifts and filmed it. It was kind of cool. But at one point in the video, I mentioned that the Steam Wallet system on Steam is much better than, say, Xbox Live Arcade and crap like Riot, yeah? Riot Games, they make League of Legends, and I love League of Legends to death. I play it on a daily basis. But I also recognize that Riot are literally scamming people out of money with the point system. They are. Riot points. Someone did a bit of math, actually. I'm going to see if I can pull this up, because this mathematics is unbelievable. It really is. Someone came up with this, and it is absolutely insane. Let's see. The LOL community forum, blah, 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 blah. It is here somewhere. I know they posted it. Problem is, of course, I've got a ton of stuff here. I'm gonna have to find this, because I want to quote this, because it's freaking fantastic. LOL, thanks and miscellaneous thoughts. This might be it. Let's see if someone has done the mathematics on this. There are a number of League of Legends posts here. I'm gonna have to search, aren't I? I don't even know what's on my own forums. Riot points. Search Riot points. The DLC currency swindle. Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. So, Lead Hacksaw did maths on this. And it's interesting, to say the least. Riot points. Most of the Riot point amounts you can buy are actually prime numbers. Yeah? Now, here's the math. In order to buy... wow, this is insane. If you only bought items for 260 points, which is on sale, you would have to buy 13 times 5 equals 65 sets of Riot points, which is £1,170, and use those on 43 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 3, which is 903 items, until you have no points remaining. Think about that for a second. Riot points, £1,170. Good God! The swindle is unbelievable. Microsoft ended up getting sued for this. Riot hasn't yet, but they will. Probably they will. Unbelievable. Okay. So, why am I mentioning this, you might ask? Here's the reason. The reason that I mention this is that people don't understand what objectivity and critical thinking is. As in, I can love something and yet still criticize it. In fact, that is the best way. I hate bringing politics in again, but at the end of the day, my wife and son are American. I have a vested interest in America going the right way. And hell, I'll probably be moving there very soon. So, I have a vested interest in America being a good country and actually prospering as a nation. And there are always people that say, look, the biggest patriots, and the best patriots are the guys that love the country but can criticize on an objective basis. Criticizing does not mean you hate America. And it doesn't mean you hate Riot Games or League of Legends or World of Warcraft or anything else. I love League of Legends. It's a great game. I like WoW. It's a really great game. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to criticize it. Why do I criticize it? Because I love it. Because I want it to be better. It must be better. It has to be better. Why would you not want the things that you love to be even better? Are you crazy? Are you literally insane? Why would you not want that? Someone please explain it to me. So when I criticize World of Warcraft, I do it because I love it. Seriously, I do. I don't hate the game. Jeez, why would I spend 5 years talking about a game I don't like? Are you insane? You can't be serious. WoW is a great game. That's why I criticize it, because I want it to be better. Blizzard is a great company. That's why I criticize them, because I want them to be better. I want to hold them to account, because I know they're more capable than this. I know they can do better. Look at the history of the company. Look at the classics they've released and tell me that Blizzard cannot do better. So yeah, that's why I criticize. And there's a lot to criticize, but I'm thankful that most of Blackrock Cavern's heroic is not worth criticizing. And I don't mean because I just don't care, it's because it's actually good. Let me tell you about it. The first thing you see in heroic Blackrock Caverns, which also may be in normal mode, because when I tried normal mode, it was when it first came out, and I don't think it was here. There was a gnome there. He goes by the name of Finkel Einhorn. You should remember him. He was in the Beast's Belly. Now, for some reason, he has befriended a troll, a giant troll berserker by the name of Raz, and Raz has been imprisoned. He wants you to go help him. So you take your first quest from him, and he gives you Finkel Einhorn's diving helmet that you automatically wear. You get to run this entire dungeon in a giant diving helmet. It's freaking pro. And you come up to the first boss, and you get given these constant quests. It uses the new remote handing system, and this diving helmet actually has two-way communication, so that's its little gimmick. And you come up to the first boss, and the boss flattens you into the ground. It is glorious. It is so good. It really is. It is so good. Some people say that I'm a masochist, that I love dying. And hey, do you have a fetish for dying, Total Biscuit? No, that would be really awkward, wouldn't it? But whatever the case, no, I like hard games. I like challenging games. I like to be challenged. I like to be tested, because the bigger they are, the harder they fall. And the more chase you have to do, the more work you have to put into something, the more satisfying the conclusion. And I'm sure that some of you will know exactly what I mean. It's true. So, that boss, the first boss of Heroic Blackrock Caverns, owns. It's so good. Watch my Wipe-Fest, my Wipe-Wathon 3000 video that I put up on my channel on cynicalbrit.com. Is it up on there? Actually, it's not yet. I've been having some problems with cynicalbrit.com. You might be aware. I can't keep up with maintaining it. I need someone to actually maintain it that I actually trust to access my database. So, yeah, it's going to be kind of hard to find someone to do that, but hey, we'll see what I can do. Anyway, back to the point. The point is quite simply this. That Wipe-Athon 3000 video will show you exactly what I mean with that boss. It is so good. The mechanics are so tight and well put together. It will wipe pugs, and it will wipe them over and over and over again, and they will cry, and they will scream, and they will bawl from the rooftops, and it will be glorious. And I will feed on the tears. Puppy, delicious puppy tears. Suck less. And you'll be able to beat it. It's not like it's ridiculously hard. It's just got mechanics that require you to think. Engage. Yes. Engage. Okay. What about the second boss? Well, the second boss is Kind of neat. The thing about this entire dungeon is that it shows off a wide variety of different kinds of fight. The first boss is a focus fight, yeah? Your entire group has to be on the ball, yeah? The second fight is a DPS test. And that is not in the case of, oh, you have to nuke it really, really hard. It's not a DPS race, it is a test of your DPS. And by DPS, I mean the members of your group who are DPS. There are 3 laser beams coming down, and they are making contact with some unpleasant individuals. Now, what this does is these laser beams are actually channeled from a captured nether drake. And they're creating these evolved Twilight Draconoids. Very unpleasant. So what you can do is you can interrupt the beams. And you have to interrupt the beams in heroic mode. Because if you don't, suddenly out of nowhere, 3 evolved Twilight Draconoids come and kill you. And once you get to 100 stacks, they will pop up and they will own you. So what you do is you interrupt the beams. Kind of like Nether Spite. Yeah, Nether Spite, that's the one. In Karazhan, you have to interrupt the beams. However, if you get 100 stacks, guess what happens? You're mind-controlled and the group wipes. A little bit of Chromagus going on back there. Oh, yes. Sounds good. Mind control mechanics. Oh, yes. So it requires you to be very, very, very careful indeed. You have to step out at the right time. You can't step out too early, because this leaves a stacking debuff on you. You have to get about 80 stacks, and then you have to stand out, let the buff tick off, debuff even, and then go back into the beam. If you stay out too long, the Draconoids will pop up and you will wipe. That requires focus, and it requires movement, and it requires care and timing from your DPS. This is a good thing. Doesn't sound all that hard, does it? But imagine how many pug groups this is going to wipe. This is a mechanic that requires your DPS to do something other than face rolling on the keyboard. That is good. Now, what else have we got? The third boss. Now, this boss is a tanking test. I was talking to my tank, and he said, yeah, this actually requires some fairly serious tanking skills. What does it do? It's kind of like the normal mode, only it's way, way more intense, and it actually summons ads and stuff as well. So, you've got a guy that has this Quicksilver armor. You have to melt the armor in his furnace in order to be able to damage him. But he will reform his armor every now and again. If his armor is up, you will do basically no damage. So you got the furnace in the middle, you got to drag him into the furnace. The problem is that while he's in the furnace, you take a huge amount of AoE fire damage across the raid, and it stacks up and gets more and more intense. In heroic mode, it stacks up much, much faster. So the tank's got to be incredibly fast. He's got to drag him in there, he's got to drag him out there, make sure he doesn't lose aggro in the process, and if he stays in too long, bang, dead. Entire group wipes. And then, of course, you've also got to deal with the ads as well. So it's a perfect test for the tank. Really, really good. And the final encounter is a test for a kiter. You need someone who can kite, and you need to be able to switch targets and not screw up. It is a focus test for the DPS, and a big test for someone who can kite. We had a Warlock do it. He did a really good job. Hunters can do it. Anyone could do it. I mean, a mage could do it very easily. Either a Frost Mage or an Arcane Mage. No problem at all. They would be able to kite. There are numerous classes that can pull this off. You've got choice. And that encounter basically involves kiting a bunch of ads, and at some point, the boss will switch between the ads. So he'll actually teleport to where the ad is. And then you have to reset aggro, you've got to pick them all up again, drag them around the room, make sure you're away from them. Because if you're not, it'll do massive AoE damage to the group and you wipe. So every encounter is a test for a different part of the group. And of course, the healer is always tested this entire time, particularly in the last fight, because of course, if the kiter starts taking hits, you've got to heal him as well as the tank, so the healer doesn't have an easy job of it. But it's nice to see the entire group tested and literally stuck into the fire. Like, oi, look, it's about time that you guys manned up, and this is what this dungeon is going to make you do. It is not uber crazy hard. I'd like to tell you about the last fight. Well, second off last fight as Beauty, but she's so overtuned right now you can't actually kill her. We tried popping all cooldowns, everything, you just can't do it. The ads do too much damage, it's impossible to deal with. Can't kite them either because they move too quickly and they can't be crowd controlled. But, yeah, you've got these 5 great encounters in there that test different parts of your group. It's so very, very good, and it's exactly what Cataclysm needed in terms of heroics. It's what Wrath needed in terms of heroics, and it never got it. So very sad that it never got it. I wish that we'd had that. But we didn't. And therein, I suppose, lies the real problem of it. Oh well. Cataclysm is shaping up to be really good so far. The majority of heroic content I have done is good. It is really good. Blizzard just needs to hold their nerve on it. They've just got to make sure that they say, look, This is heroic content. Take it or leave it. Can't do it? Do normal modes. Get good enough. Said it before, I'll say it again. It's becoming my mantra. My mantra. Whatever the case. I don't want the content nerfed down to my level. I want to raise myself to the level of the content. That's how everyone should treat a video game, in my opinion. And in this case, this is not just a single-player game where you can turn the difficulty down. This actually affects everybody. You cannot, under any circumstances, nerf content across the board for the benefit of a whining minority. That is bad community management. My name's Total Biscuit. This is an article with Death Or. I'll be right back after this with a Cataclysm Q&A. Enjoy.